What's going on, guys? Happy New Year. Welcome to the second season of the WCW Nitro Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with my man, Poppy Platino. I'm here with my man all the way down in Delaware. I'm here with BDC. Fellas, what's going on? How y'all doing?
You know, it feels like a whole new year and an old year all at the same time.
Yes, I said it's New Year's. It's New Year's on this episode of Nitro that we're covering January 1st, 1996. So,
happy Nitro year, fellas. Happy Nitro year.
You already know 96 is going to turn up. So, we're going to, let's get right into it. They're in Atlanta, Georgia, home of the Falcons. Eric Bischoff, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary, and Pepe, he's still hanging in there.
Didn't even recognize him this episode. I just saw him holding something.
That poor dog. He's like, why you got me dressed up like a goof?
Pepe got the 4th of July outfit on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know.
Wrong outfit, Bob.
Yep.
I would have dressed him up as the New Year baby or something, but even then.
All right, well, they started talking about Ric Flair winning the World Championship. He's a 12-time champion now, and that later on tonight he's going to defend the title against Hulk Hogan, so the suspension's over. Hogan has suspension for what, 4 days?
Yep.
It's essentially.
Or a week or two, whatever it was.
Technically a week, because the last week of the year they did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. But all right, well, our opening match, we have Arn Anderson taking on the former world champion Macho Man Randy Savage. And Macho Man, he's coming down to the ring. He's posing. Next thing you just start sprinting to the ring, and Arn Anderson, he just attacks him. He starts working on that arm, but, Savage, he turned the match around, took Arn to the outside, did what he did. And while all this is taking place, Eric Bischoff, he's spoiling Raw already. Don't change the channel.
Yep.
Not sure if you peeped that.
That was where it began.
Okay.
Yep. He's spoiling what's on Raw, and I'll still give you the rundown for later after this episode. But they get back into the ring. Arn is being that technician that he is, and he's working on Savage's arm. And then we're going to get to the finish of the match where our boy, Randy Anderson, he gets knocked down, and Arn goes in his trunk, and he grabs some foreign object. And
the knucks.
The brass, the taped-up knucks, whatever you want to call them. And Savage took it from Arn, and he clocked him, and he got the win.
Yep.
I just want to know how did Randy Anderson know that the shoulders were down when he went for the pin countdown? Because I'm like, bro, you can't see from that angle. But that's the one thing I do remember when he started the match. That's the one thing I wish more wrestlers were just like Macho Man, where if you got a blood feud or just like an issue with somebody, don't calm down dancing, doing your whole shtick coming down the ring. Get in there, get to it, and let's get it on.
Busy.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of young guys need to start taking from the old veterans. Even it's something that's such a small detail that if you really are in a blood feud with somebody, get in there and get it. You don't need none of this Americana BS. You know where that came from, Dom.
Yeah, don't Jeff Hardy it, basically.
Yeah.
While your brother's getting beat up.
Oh, wait, I got to defend him. Even though Matt said in the interview, like, no, do the juke before you come and save me. Like, Matt, stop it. Just stop it.
That's what people came to see, I guess.
We can see the juke after. Just save your brother.
Seriously. All right, well, after Savage got the win, Brian Pillman and Chris Benoit come down to the ring, and they're pissed off. They're trying to take out Savage, but Savage one-upped them. It's the first time we see Chris Benoit as a horseman with the Four Horsemen T-shirt on.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, oh, finally, Chris.
And the Four Horsemen tights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, after this, we have Lord Steven Regal taking on Chris Benoit, and they show my man Hank Aaron in attendance.
Yep. Mr. 755.
755, Body Brain. He said, if you listen to me, he have 800.
He listened to Bobby the Brain, he'd have 55.
Oh, boy.
All right, well, this match was a technical-based wrestling style match, hard-hitting. I definitely enjoyed it. And they started off slow, and then they started to gradually pick up with the suplexes, the German suplex off the top rope, and then we see Benoit with the tombstone, and Eric Bischoff got to, throw his little shade in. Bischoff said, "Oh, basically that man, he's the one who perfected that move." Like, come on, bro. On the other channel, you already know the real dead man perfected that move right there.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, they realized that they had 16 okay shows, 17 okay shows. So now they're going for the jugular, they're going for the throat or something.
Yeah, we are at episode 18 right now, and it's definitely picking up. It's definitely picking up right here. But the finish of this match, we see Chris Benoit after the tombstone. He goes for like a suicide dive or over the top rope, whatever you want to call it. And he crashed and burned, knocked himself out. And then Regal, he rolls him in the ring. 1, 2, 3, and Regal gets the win.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. That caught me off guard. I kind of like the element of surprise like that, just because you can crash and burn in the match. Like, maybe he wasn't really knocked out, but just something like that, it just causes chaos within the group, like they did in the next segment. But I kind of liked it in a way. It was something that you don't see. Yeah.
And I'm not sure who said it, but I think it was Steve Mongo McMichael said, "Oh, the crippler crippled himself."
Oh man.
Yeah.
But in this match, you can see the signs that he really did belong in the Horseman. That technical style, like you said, he basically took over for the Tully role. I think you said, Dom.
Yeah.
The Tully Blanchard role? Yeah.
Yeah, he had the Tully role where he was a good wrestler. Maybe not the best in the promos because Tully was a great promo, but technically sound, knew what to do in the ring, and probably one of the best to do it.
So that leads me to a question. We know what Arn's role is.
Yes.
We know what Flair's role is, especially now as champion.
Woo!
We have identified that Benoit is the Tully role. What's Flying Brian?
He's starting to be that loose cannon.
Yeah. He was in a way like a bad version of JJ, where JJ was managing and trying to get everybody in line, but he was
just that extra guy. Basically.
Yeah, he was way too out there.
I thought it was interesting when he was talking all his shit. I'm like, is he really talking all this mess when this dude hasn't won a match since he's been a Horseman?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so after this, we get our first Mean Gene sighting. He's in the ring with the Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, and Brian Pillman. And Pillman said, "What the hell is going on? Ever since we threw this symbol up, the Four Horsemen symbol, we're now 0-2. And Benoit said, basically, his record as a Horseman proves that he's more than himself. And what William Regal or Steven Regal, his win was just sheer luck, point blank.
And it was.
Yeah,
it happened. Not gonna win every single match.
But I like I said, I do like the element of surprise where a little bit of realism does come into play. I mean, any other company could do that right now. Will it happen? The fans will probably be irate. But listen, for the real guys that actually want some realism, throw a little curveball out there. Let somebody crash and burn, and someone take advantage and get the pin. It's something different. It's something that we don't see every day, and you just do it every once in a blue.
Yep. And after this, Brian Pillman said to Arn Anderson, "How do you get beat by a move that's from the Horseman playbook?" Talking about how he got knocked out by the
Nux. Yeah.
It's not the first time that's happened.
And
it won't be the last.
Seriously. Then Arn basically said, "I'm not used to looking at somebody in the back of the head, but it goes like this. You've been running around starting fires and wars, and we don't need to fight. Unless there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, stop starting wars, and then we're going to perish and prosper together." Point blank.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
basically job one is protecting the title now.
Yeah. Yep. And the Dungeon of Doom comes out, and the Giants out there stopping everybody. They're hot right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did call them the Dungeon of Misfit Toys.
Yeah, he literally just said, "Don't start a fire," and then he just continue going.
Yeah.
That's going to lead to your doom.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Hart and the Giant actually being the voices of reason. That's funny.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Very crazy.
Hey, like the Spartans say, the unit always is going to be holding, even if at its weakest link. But apparently that weak link has to get away. So, foreshadowing for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, our next match, we have the Super Assassins with Colonel Robert Parker taking on Lex Luger and Sting. Platinum, who the hell are the Super Assassins?
I did not do my research on that. I think BDC probably did.
Yes, he
I
did.
didn't have enough time to do it.
Yes, he did. I noticed one of them right away. As soon as I just looked at him, I just knew, and it just kind of came together from there. The Super Assassins are the Powers of Pain, the Warlord, and the Barbarian.
I knew one of them was.
Really?
I wasn't sure.
They were jacked. I knew they had to be somebody.
Yep, indeed.
So the first one coming on, that had to be Barbarian, right?
Barbarian came down first, and Barbarian came down second. Barbarian was the one who stared right into the camera.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I'm like, that face, you look familiar, even with the mask.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, probably won't talk about them again.
Barbarian was a dead giveaway. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the Barbarian.
Yeah, I couldn't tell about Warlord.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. He ain't even on there. Warlord.
All right, well, while this match is taking place, we see Sergeant Craig Pittman come up to the booth again, interrupting the match. And he's talking to Steve Mongo McMichael, and he asks Mongo to be his manager. My thing is, how are you going to ask a guy to be a manager? He hasn't even had one match in the ring yet. Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah.
Like, and
maybe he was asking Pepe.
Oh, Lord. But basically, Mongo just tells him, like, you're a sergeant, you're a good worker, you don't need any help to get to the top. But Mongo, you lied to him. Copy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He lied.
Hey, boy, did he.
Later on, yeah. You'll find out.
Yeah. The hilarity of it all was that Bobby Heenan, at one point during the show, and I don't know if it's come up yet, he's talking about Jimmy Hart. He says Jimmy Hart will manage anybody. But Jimmy Hart, the previous episode, was like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he said, oh, take your shirt off and look at his. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So the mere fact that he said that, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, clearly he's not anybody.
Nope. Look at you and look at him. You don't even have the same body.
Right.
Did that man dirty.
That was foul. That was really foul.
All right, well, while this match is still taking place, Mongo's like, oh, I thought the match would be over by now, because they had it in picture, which it wasn't.
Yeah.
Assassins was getting some type of offense, but as soon as Pittman walked away, that's when Sting and Luger turned up, and, well, the finish of the match, Luger had one in the torch rack, and then Sting had the other one in the Scorpion, and the match is over.
Yep.
It
picked up quick.
Too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gonna tap?
That was
Almost.
Pass out?
Almost as long as he had Sting in that starter to the Razor's Edge that never actually became a Razor's Edge.
Oh yeah.
They called it some type of stretch move or something, but yeah, there was something.
All right, well, after this, Mean Gene, he's out again. This time he's with the Giant and Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy Hart says he's always going to be around. He managed champions, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, and his guys that he got now.
But not Pittman.
Pittman's not going to be a champ. And then basically the Giant says, Hogan, you took your shot at me with this chair. Now every dog has his day, and your day is coming real soon. And Mean Gene's like, oh, my God, I don't understand what he's saying. Like, he's real loud or something like that. That was pretty funny.
The son of Andre. Yeah.
Well, why are you just yelling like that?
Yeah, was that like altered or that was just him speaking into the mic?
No, that was him.
That was him.
Yeah, that mic was like.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he kind of got away from that when he went to WWE, where he was trying to deepen his voice, which was truly not necessary.
No.
But yeah, at that point, I almost felt Mean Gene because I was like, the hell did he say? And I had to go back and was like, oh yeah, that's what he said. Got it.
Yeah. It wasn't necessary. You're already intimidating. You're like the biggest, strongest guy in all wrestling at the time.
And his normal voice is not high pitched.
No. So nothing. If you're already someone to be looked at and feared anyway, so just talk like you normally do, and let it rock.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's a former world champion anyway, so.
Yeah. Short-lived.
Yeah.
But he was a champ. Definitely
Yep.
was.
Beat by vacant.
Greatest champion of all time.
All right,
He's
well,
in every company. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, our next match is for the WCW Championship. We have the new 12-time champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, taking on the returning Hulk Hogan. He's back from suspension.
Yep.
And the fans, they're digging Hogan.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite interesting. We seen Ric Flair with the red and yellow on too, you know?
Yep.
Not the trunks, but the knee pads and the boots.
The red knee pads and yellow boots. Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Very rare to see that.
Why did Flair always wear his knee
Hogan.
pads to his like his shins?
I don't know. I think he explained it one time. I just don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I.
Oh, maybe it was. What was it he said to? I think it was he did a podcast with somebody. He was talking about Rick Rude. He said this is upper body a business. You can't walk around with those minuscule calves.
All right, that makes perfect sense.
So he was probably covering up the calves because he probably didn't feel like they were large enough. So freaking Rick, I love you for that.
Yeah. I mean, and it worked though because he had that what many thought was a knee drop, but it was really just like he basically laid the knee pad over the face and rolls over.
Yep.
So it worked out for him, but that shit's funny.
Yeah. I remember when he said that. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I went back and looked at Rick Rude and I'm like,
yeah, he ain't wrong.
He
ain't
Sorry,
wrong.
Rick. Probably put us all in a stretch lock, but
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, Ric Flair is the dirtiest player of all time. He's the dirtiest player in the game, and he's working on Hogan's knee this whole damn match. And then finally got to the point where he sinks in the figure four. But Hogan gonna overpower it, and he turns him over, and we see Jimmy Hart running out to distract Hogan, and Hogan grabs him, and all of a sudden Flair kicks him right in the back of the knee again. Hogan goes down. And this is something impressive. I never really seen it. Like, you really never see this. Ric Flair with a vertical suplex to Hogan. You really never see Hogan get suplexed like that. And I was trying to think about it. Maybe Sting might have done it a few times, but Goldberg did it for sure. But
that's for damn sure.
You never see Hogan taking a vertical suplex like that.
No, you don't. I mean, not even Big Bubba Rogers or Andre did that. I think they may have just hip tossed him. Well, granted, Andre wasn't the same person that he first started with, but yeah, that was very, very impressive. I was like, okay, Flair, do your thing.
Yeah. Yep. Well, after that suplex, it's time for Hogan to Hulk up. Then he has his signature moves, the big boot, the leg drops. Then he goes for Jimmy Hart again, and then Arn Anderson comes out. He knocks Hogan with his foreign object. And then after the foreign object, Hogan clocks him and goes in his trunks to go get that object. He takes it out.
The dumbest ending I have seen in recent memory.
Yeah.
You are fighting for a heavyweight championship. You could possibly win the match right then and there because Flair was still down. And what do? You show the ref the foreign object to get him disqualified. What are you doing?
Yep. Yeah, then while all this is taking place, the Giant comes out with a bar stool, getting ready to nail
not a chair,
a bar stool. Yeah.
Where he got that from. Getting ready to nail Hogan in the back of the head, but Macho Man, he intercepted it, and then they take him out. And then we see the Zodiac come out, and then he said, "No, hurt, friend, friend, hurt." I'm like, what? Yeah. Zodiac's talking. He's showing some life. He can say more than 2 words.
Yep. He's starting his disciple arc.
Yes, and everybody who don't know, the Zodiac is Brother Brood-Eye.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yes.
Wow. Guys, this is 18 weeks of Nitro, and have we have one finish in the main event? Like a clean finish?
I've just been starting, and as of right now, no.
Yeah, I'm not thinking there's a whole A lot of clean finishes out there.
Last week Hogan bashed the Giant with the damn chair, went crazy.
Man, I forgot he tagged Randy Anderson with that chair too. That shit was funny when they showed the highlight. He was like, "Fake, fake." Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of. There may be one or two thrown in, but for the most part, they haven't been clean.
Do you think the reason for their booking like this is just to leave you on the edge of your seat, like, ooh, I gotta find out what's gonna happen next week?
Yeah, in a way, I think they were trying to do that. You got to think about it too. Back in the day, there was no 50 different subscriptions to different apps and all this. It was just a few handful of channels
and a 900 number.
Yeah, and the 900 number, and you had like very few choices in your viewership, so you had to try to grab someone's attention to come back. I mean, if you already have like a finish, what am I really looking forward to? I mean, granted, wrestling. You don't really need to worry about that. For the loyalists, they'll come back anyways. And maybe it was just trying to capture the casuals, if you think about it. But even the casuals may be like, that's how you end it? Like, can you give me a finish to a movie?
Yeah. It was a crazy time because literally, like we saw in this episode, he was starting to leak what was happening on Raw, despite the fact that Raw was running a whole hour before Nitro even started.
Yep.
So he's like, yeah, you could tune in over here. It's like, dude, it's already over there. It's an hour over there too. So you're running an hour behind it. So you spoiling it at this point means nothing.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I got to say, though, about this main event, I don't know how Vince did not see this as a WrestleMania-worthy match. These two were meant for each other. You got Hogan that loves to sell, and Rick is going to just, lead the match and take advantage and do all the dirty, dastardly things. And then at the last minute, have the good guy, get that W. It's a match made in heaven with two different styles, but two great workers. Regardless of what we think about Hogan, he was a good worker. He knew how to work the crowd and get him behind. So, Vince, you screwed the pooch on this one, man. I know he's not. I know Flair's not 6'6" and 360 with a body of an Adonis, but the man can work. He can put people over, and you would have made a lot of money with Hogan and Flair, in my opinion.
And bottom line is, at this point, Flair is still a double-digit time world champion.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Acknowledge that.
I swear Vince had a WCW NWA bias that didn't allow him to let those guys shine unless he could put his sheen on it, which is why like guys like Taker, guys like Triple H, those guys succeeded even though they were WCW guys versus guys like Ric Flair and Sting.
Yeah, I think because they weren't like big names in WCW, he was able to change that,
recreate them.
Yeah, recreate
his image,
put his image. But
yep,
even with a name like Flair, it doesn't matter where he goes. You're selling merch. I don't know what the company was going through at that time, but Hogan and Flair Mania, I'm buying the tickets.
Exactly.
and I love Sid Vicious, but no, I'm putting Flair in that match in Mania 8.
Yeah, and you had the perfect opportunity, but what did you do? You threw Andre the Giant in front of it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yep.
All right, well, after this, we see Mean Gene again for the final time of the night, and he's with Hogan and Savage, and Hogan said that next Monday night, him and Savage are going to take on Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Let's let's finish this off right now. Monkey see, monkey do, brother, and just talking about next week is going to be a gut check. And Hulk Hogan talking about the 4 blind mice with the Horsemen and how they're going to take out the Horsemen. Hogan needs to do something, man. I'm glad we're getting to the NWO stages in the next few months, but all these damn references.
He was sounding like Cameron, man. I was like, okay.
Yeah, at least Cameron's cool.
Yeah, I know.
For real.
Yeah,
Cameron put out some hits, but I was like, oof.
I mean, he always talked about ending people and ending factions because he did such a great job with the Dungeon of Doom beforehand that he was going to go ahead and do the same thing with the Horsemen, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
got to get that big, stinking big guy out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
That's not cool, you know? It sounds good, but it's not that cool.
No, it's not really cool.
I mean, in the early 90s, yeah, it would work into the late 80s, but we're starting to get into that attitude era coming up soon where in real life we're bucking the system and people just had enough of like listening to what everyone's telling us. So unfortunately, Hogan wasn't getting with the times just yet, but things will change, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was it for Monday Nitro. BDC,
Whoa.
Did we have any dark matches?
We did have dark matches. And so we had Bobby Parker beating Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. We had Joey Maggs with Teddy Long defeating Disco Inferno. And
Disco.
Tell me if you've heard this one before. Dark WCW World Television Title Match. Johnny B. Bad defeats Diamond Dallas Page. You know, I think I might have heard of that match before.
They starting off the new year real hot.
Just like they ended off the last year. Johnny B. Bad has undefended that title like the 24/7 champion at this point. Not on TV, though.
He's so pretty, he goes to WWF a few months later.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man. That's wild, man.
Yeah. Well, on the other channel, Raw did not take place on the 1st. It took place on the 2nd.
Okay.
So I'm assuming
it took place on a Tuesday night?
I'm assuming that Tuesday. I'm not sure why, but
okay.
Maybe because of the holiday.
Well, could be.
Well, January 2nd, 1996, they're in your neck of the woods in the, Newark, Delaware, in the Bob.
They're at the Bob.
At the Bob. And they have a World Tag Team title match. The Smoking Guns taking on Razor Ramon and Savio Vega.
Which is what Eric leaked, that the Smoking Guns won.
Yep, Smoking Guns beat Razor Ramon and Savio Vega. Yep. And then we have Owen Hart and Yokozuna and Psycho Sid. Wait, hold on. Wait, I gotta read this shit again. All right, so they had a Raw Tag Team Bowl Battle Royale, which was Owen Hart and Yokozuna, Psycho Sid and 1-2-3 Kid. Or maybe maybe I said that wrong. Maybe it's the whole damn thing. Maybe I read that wrong, BDC. Let me rephrase that. All right, so they had a Raw Bowl Battle Royale for the tag titles. So it was the Smoking Guns. They won. They beat Razor Ramon and Savio Vega, Owen Hart and Yokozuna, and Psycho Sid and 1-2-3 Kid.
Okay.
So that's one match.
That's what Eric leaked.
Yeah. The Smoking Guns won now. Okay, all right. And John said he wanted to see this match. He wanted to relive this Raw Bowl. So I'm definitely have to check that out. And then in your main event, you have Diesel taking on King Mabel.
Diesel was the champion?
I'm not sure. Well, all I know is the match went 8 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Lord. And that was Monday Night Raw. So as of now, I would have stayed watching Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Eight seconds?
That's
8
great.
seconds.
Your main event is 8 seconds.
Wow.
He's probably getting ready for Bob Backlund.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe that was maybe that was 1995. Who knows?
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I think he was champion around this time. And he would drop the title, I think, to Brett again.
That is so weak.
It is. Well, next week of Nitro, we have Chris Benoit taking on Alex Wright.
That's
It's been a minute since we've seen Alex Wright.
Mm-hmm.
We have Eddie Guerrero taking on Lord Steven Regal.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Regal 2 weeks in a row. That's pretty good.
Yep.
We get
Facing cruiserweights.
Yep. We get Sting taking on DDP. There you go.
Okay.
There you
DDP not in a dark match. Nice.
Yep, and then your main event, Hogan and Savage versus the Four Horsemen of Arn Anderson and Ric Flair.
That sounds nice.
It's going to be chicanery at the end.
I'm sure there will be.
From Charleston, South Carolina, next week.
Oh, Horseman country.
Yep, that part.
Yep, so it's going to be pretty interesting.
Nice.
And there are dark matches.
There are, and no Johnny B. Bad. So.
No Johnny B. Bad. Johnny B. Bad is getting the week off.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, did you guys enjoy this Nitro?
It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty fast paced and it was easy to watch. Besides the main event, that it should have just had a clean finish, but then again, it didn't need it. It was well worth the watch. I highly recommend people go back and watch this.
Season 2, Episode 1 of WCW Nitro.
Woo!
Any final
yes,
thoughts?
Indeed. Yep. NWO angle can't come soon enough.
I'm being a little patient. Just want to see a little something different before I know what's coming.
Told you, I want to see when Sting says you stick it. That's what I'm waiting for.
I think that's right around NWO territory. But we'll see.
Yep.
Well, all right, guys. Well, this is episode 1 of season 2 of the WCW Nitro Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with Poppy Plotton. I'm here with BDC, and we will see you next week. Boom.